Everybody kept mentioning the roaches, and I said, oh, for some reason doing all of this made me feel guilty. I canceled my contract to teach in China. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tiana and I make videos about my tumultuous life in my mid-20s. I don't know what it is, but I can't figure out this thing called life. Every time I look around, I'm getting like smacked around or I'm getting my ass handed to me, and everything just seems like a learning experience. I'm waiting for the fun part. I don't know when the fun part comes, but I'm ready to get to that part. I want to talk about why I decided to cancel my contract and just how I'm trying to move forward and develop a new mindset. So I decided to cancel my contract for 3 main reasons. One was just like, I knew for a fact that I was gonna hate living in the city that I chose. Number 2 is financially, I don't think I would have been prepared. And number 3, I would say I felt a little guilty about like leaving my family, which I'll get into in a little bit. I knew I was gonna hate the city that I chose. Chose to live in Shenzhen, China, which is a tier 1 city. So if you aren't familiar with what that means, basically Chinese cities are divided into tiers. A tier 1 would be like a New York for us here in the US, and then you have a tier 2 city, which you know is a little bit less expensive, and then a tier 3 city, which is even less expensive than a tier 1 or a tier 2 city. It was not my intention to choose a tier 1 city. Actually, when I found out that, you know, the cities were divided into tiers, I was just like, you know what, I have no intention to live in any place similar to like New York. Like, I am a girl who loves greenery, flowers, peace of mind. I just like green. I'm not like a brick building type of person. Like, no. When the interviewer told me that I needed to pick a city and I started doing my little research, I didn't realize that the city that I chose was a tier 1 city. And my dilemma during this process is like, I don't want to choose a city like Shanghai, which is very expensive, but also at the same time, do I feel comfortable living in a small city where there aren't too many foreigners? Like, would I feel comfortable? So I think I just rushed and chose the city and didn't realize that, you know, it was up there with Shanghai. I went on YouTube and started watching YouTubers talk about living in the city as far as like rent. I looked up foreigners. I found a Chinese person, and y'all, it wasn't looking too pretty at all. I'm talking small shoebox apartments with roaches. Everybody kept mentioning the roaches, and I was just like, I can't do roaches. Me living in a small apartment, living with roaches? I would die. I would be so depressed. And so once I saw that, I was like, you know what, this is not the city for me. If I wanted to live in a place that was closer to where I would be working, because y'all, I pulled up the subway station map. I pulled up Google Maps to see the distance from the locations a lot of people lived in from like working. Now I was doing actual research. I was like, I can't live with roaches. Like, not me paying rent for the roaches to live here with me. The second reason is financially, I don't think I would have been prepared. I needed to sign my second contract, and so this contract included the location and also like my start date. Printed it out and looked at it, and I said, oh, it says October. I was under the impression that I would start in November. So I'm like, October is crazy. I don't think I'll have the money I need for me to go in October, because I just wanted to make sure I had at least $1,300, and I'm not that close to $1,300 yet. So November at least would give me like an extra month to get these things together. So then after I saw that, I'm like, you know what? This would be dumb. It'd be a bad idea if I just decided to continue, because now that I know this city is very expensive, in order for me to feel comfortable, I'm gonna need even more than $1,300, although they give us in advance. Going there would not be the best decision financially. Would I be willing to use all of my money for a place to stay and I have no savings? It wouldn't make sense if I'm only trying to be there for 1 year. I felt a little bad about it, but after thinking about it, it's just like, I made the best decision for me. Third reason I decided to cancel my contract is, for some reason doing all of this made me feel guilty. I know I'm not doing anything wrong. Right now, it's hard on everyone to pretty much live, and our cost of living has increased more. Like, for example, our rent just increased. So I knew it would have been hard on my family to kind of like keep up with everything, since we all kind of like split things evenly. So I guess in that sense, I felt bad. And my grandmother is getting older, which I have noticed recently, and she needs a little bit more help with certain things. And if I'm gone, it's like, who is going to be there pretty much? I guess that's another reason that kind of contributed to my guilt. And so I know a lot of people have their own opinions when it comes to like moving or living abroad, when you have people who are aging that are close to you. Some people believe, oh, you only live once, your life's so short, you should just go ahead and do it. Like, you can't stay in a certain position forever. And I had read like another point of view about it from somebody who was in a similar situation, and they pretty much said that, you know, for them, they'll just wait until things get to a point where they can go travel, do the things that they want, but right now it's very important for them to be with their family. Kind of like that point of view. I think that's kind of where I am. I think that guilt feeling would have like eaten me alive, honestly, if I would have went or if I left. So it's not like a popular take, I guess, but it just is what it is. I think now I just have to figure out how to make my life less boring and fun, and how to live within the confines of my situation. I'm not like confined or stuck, but you know, like try to make a workaround with what I got and what I have, what I don't have, and things like that. It's like living the best way that I can, and like making much more of an effort. Like, I don't regret it at all. So I have to keep moving forward, work harder for the things that I want, and figure out what it is that I want to do and go, and just yeah, it's a lot. I'm tired. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please, 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 por favor, s'il vous plaît, leave me a comments with your thoughts. What would you have done if you were in my situation? Would you just have gone and just see, you know, like, God got me? Or would you have decided to cancel the contract? Ciao.